We have a bit of science for you in this next story. It's all about genetic material in plants and animals, the material that's critical to our food supply. And the research on that material, well, it's something you can take to the bank. It's not something we really ever think about, how the seeds and plants that create our food supply are really an asset to be protected from natural disasters, even potential terrorist attacks. But here in north central Colorado, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is banking plant and animal material.
This is really where the crown jewels of agriculture are for the USDA. We've got over 600,000 accessions or collections of plants here in this one room.
The concrete reinforced tornado-proof vault is in essence a large freezer that holds seeds from every conceivable crop grown in the U.S.
What we're looking at is wanting to store seeds for 100 years. Keep them alive for 100 years. And Mother Nature's done an awesome job at designing the seed, but in order to store it for that long, you've got to have it dry and you've got to have it cold.
The U.S. is not alone in seeing plant material as critical to the survival of future generations. A similar bomb-proof facility has been completed on an island in the far north regions of Norway. These caverns are nearly 400 feet underground in permafrost that would provide natural refrigeration even if the seed bank's electrical generators failed. But America's seed bank takes protection a step further, using liquid nitrogen to reduce temperatures hundreds of degrees below freezing.
We know that at this temperature you still have some molecular mobility, so they are slowly decaying, but very slowly. They have a half-life of 5 years. At 0 degrees, we can extend that to 25, 30, 50 years. Here, we can go 200, 300, 400 years.
For some seeds, however, these cold temperatures are detrimental to protection.
There's many crops that you can't store by seed. Apples, mints, strawberries, your fruit and nut crops. Apples is an example where we can take a dormant branch from the field, we bring it into the lab, we cut it up into small segments, we slowly dehydrate it, slowly cool it, store it in liquid nitrogen.
The National Bank also addresses the need to protect future generations of food production animals.
We have about 500,000 collections of animals, including mostly containing semen samples from agriculturally important animals, sheep, goats, cows, also some aquatics, some fishes. And unlike plants, where we were just talking about storing things and keeping them alive on the order of centuries, with bull sperm, with bull semen, they talk about keeping it alive on the order of thousands of years.
So by building this repository in the United States, if we were to have that kind of disaster occur, we would be in a position that we could reconstitute populations, introduce genetic variation to the existing populations that may be left after such a disaster, and help get the livestock industry back on its feet again.
In addition to the protection of plant and animal samples, research is also underway to learn and log the genetic codes of stored seeds, giving us further insight into the basic building blocks of life.
We're doing something that has a very real consequence to American agriculture today, or even as we look down the road 25, 30 years from now. We might all be gone, but essentially we're building the basis for these collections to be utilized that far in the future.
I feel rewarded that I can have a major contribution globally. We can help protect food security and make sure that people in the world have the food available.